Control your drinking. In just 7 days. Get your life back without lifelong 12-step programs, white-knuckle willpower, or going cold turkey. Yes. I want to drink less. You don't have to quit drinking altogether. This is the world's first Drink Less program, celebrated the world over for its 97% success rate. If you want to get healthier. If you want to feel good about how much you drink. This program is for you. If you know alcohol is affecting your life but don't want to quit completely. This 7-day Drink Less Mind program is guaranteed to help you get off the drinking too much treadmill. Watch the entire video above and you will discover the fastest and easiest ways to drink less, without anybody knowing how you did it. The results are quick and effective, cravings disappear, replaced with healthier drinking habits. 100% guaranteed to reduce your alcohol consumption by up to 50% in just 1 week or more, no matter how much you used to drink. The best alcohol reduction program the world has ever seen before. Approved by thousands of prominent doctors, scientists and health professionals. Starts working immediately, and the good news is, you don't have to quit drinking for the program to work. Become that happier, healthier drinker you really are without all the guilt and anxiety. Learn to regularly drink less and feel good about what you drink, when and why. Say goodbye old guilty ways of drinking and say hello to a natural, drink less, approach. No more sneaky drinking or pretending that you are drinking less than you are. Get rid of the booze belly once and for all without having to think about it. 7 scientifically proven steps to drink less alcohol without willpower. You may think you need to quit drinking because of what you have read or others have told you, but I'm here to tell you that's just not true. Then stop for a moment while I share with you a powerful program that shows you, in just 25 minutes, how to drink less alcohol. Warning, this method is not conventional. Look, you may have tried other conventional methods. If those work for you, that's great. But, let's face it, you wouldn't be here if you had a solution. If you've tried other treatments. If you've spent time and money on rehab, therapy, or 12-step programs. And you feel like you've tried everything. Then you're in the right place. This tried and tested program has helped hundreds of thousands of people all over the world drink less, no matter what they were like before this program. It's time for you to manage your drinking. Don't let it manage you. Can you imagine being able to stop worrying about how much you drink? The best thing about this program is that you will learn how to stop worrying about drinking less and just do it, easily and effectively. Start living your life while still enjoying drinking, but just less of it, without the stresses and strains that used to come with it. Sounds too simple? Trust me, no matter how much you used to drink, you have the power to control your drinking. And I can show you how. The fact is that many doctors, counselors and psychologists put everyone who drinks too much in one box labeled problem drinkers. But everyone is different. The reason you drink too much may be very different from other people's reasons. I'm guessing you've tried to drink less before without success, and that's why you're reading this now. Or, maybe, you had some success, but eventually you wound up going back to your old ways, and you feel awful about it? Fact: traditional methods, like years of therapy, don't really work. In fact, ironically, it can make people drink more. Fact: most people who worry about their drinking don't feel understood, and this makes them worry even more. Fact: 12-step programs can work if you feel you absolutely need to stop drinking. But what if you don't want to stop? What do you do then? Yes. I want to drink less. Do you want to know what it feels like to enjoy a drink in a healthier way? Stop for a moment and think about how this might be possible. My special method is called 7 Days to Drink Less, and this unique and highly effective program has been helping men and women just like you discover how to drink less for over 22 years. You won't find this approach anywhere else. My proven method can restore you to happiness without stripping you of your social life. But don't take my word for it. Here's Kylie's story. In her own words. Kylie was a very typical worried drinker who came to me for help. What she has to say is exactly what I hear weekly in my professional life. Kylie kindly agreed to allow me to share her experience, but I have to warn you, this story tends to trigger some readers. Please read on at your own discretion. This is Kylie's story. I shudder when I think of this drinking story. In 2012, my husband and I went to a colleague's wedding in the country. As it was a long way from home, we booked into the local hotel for the night with other people from work. I was dreading it because I'm actually very shy and I know my social anxiety can be pretty bad. But I also know I can drink too much sometimes in unfamiliar social situations, so I was already really anxious. The car journey seemed to go on forever and I kept saying to myself, Kylie, just don't drink too much. Don't make a fool of yourself. On one hand, I promised myself I would pace my drinking, but another part of me was dying for a drink to calm myself down. By the time we arrived, people were already at the bar offering drinks. My husband went upstairs with our luggage and I got that look from him, as if to say, don't drink too much. This annoyed me so much. My husband can be the wine police sometimes, and it really irritates me. He can sit on a glass of wine all night. I wish I could do that, but I just can't. I thought, sod it, why not? Everybody else is drinking, so I accepted a glass of champagne. By the time my husband came down, I was on my second glass of champagne and having a whale of a time. After a few hours we sat down to eat with some colleagues and my husband asked me to slow my drinking down. We had a massive argument at the table and he stormed off and said he would get room service. I don't remember much after that, but I woke at 4 a.m. to find myself lying next to my boss in his room. I was horrified. I felt physically sick and ran to the bathroom to vomit. I was horrified. I felt physically sick. I had the most awful panic attack, and I saw my marriage in ruins. And I knew my professional reputation was destroyed. I just couldn't piece together what had happened. I snuck out of my boss's hotel room and made my way back to our room. As I entered the room, all I could think about was how shameful I felt, and how angry I was at myself. And the same old questions came up. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I keep doing this to myself? Over, and over, and over again? Why do I keep behaving like an insane person even though I know it's so destructive? How many more times am I going to repeat this out of control drinking? To my incredible relief, my husband was sound asleep, but my anxiety was still out of control. The night before was like a jigsaw puzzle with about 100 missing pieces. I stayed awake playing out all these different scary scenarios about the night before and how my husband would leave me. Not only that, what about my boss? I was hoping for a promotion. I was convinced I'd have no job and no husband by the end of the day. It was terrifying. That morning was the longest morning of my life. I lay there so still, just waiting for my husband to wake. Dreading the conversation I knew we were about to have. I rolled over towards him and gave him a big hug, hoping that would help. He woke and said my breath smelt like a drunk on a park bench. I started to cry profusely as I apologized. But he wasn't having any of it. He told me as soon as the wedding service was over that day we were heading back to the city. He was silent all day, and on top of that, my boss was ignoring me. I wanted to crawl into a hole and die that day because I knew I had to do something about my drinking. I just couldn't put it off anymore. It was terrifying to imagine my life without my delicious wine. I kept thinking to myself, there must be a way to learn how to drink less. There must be a way to get some sense of positive control over my drinking. Because I knew that if it came down to it, I just didn't want to quit. Truth be told, I had searched online many times for a drink less approach. But all I found were detox hospitals, years of therapy, and alcohol addiction clinics. I knew those things weren't for me, but I just couldn't get my head around what to do and where to go. Even my 14-year-old son was critical of my drinking, which ironically made me hide my wine. I often stashed a secret bottle of wine as a backup and pretended there was only one. But I knew I was drinking too. Who was I kidding? I had to do something about my drinking. But what? Fortunately, that day at the wedding, my boss finally came over and explained what happened. I had gotten so drunk that I couldn't find my room key, so he put me on his bed, knowing I would wake up and go back to my room. He reassured me nothing weird happened, and that I just passed out in an alcohol-induced coma. This was such a huge relief that I could have kissed him right then and there. After the wedding, I made a commitment to myself. I was going to find a way to resolve this drinking issue, once and for all. A few days later, good fortune knocked on my door. I was watching the news while getting ready for work, when I saw the presenter talk about a new approach that was getting amazing results in just 7 days. Before my eyes, I heard this Australian woman share her opinion on why people drink too much. And she explained that almost the whole medical profession just didn't understand the real issue. She felt that the guidance given by many health professionals bullied, belittled, and shamed the drinker, which she felt was completely the wrong approach. And on top of that, it wasn't helping. Those methods didn't work for millions of people who just can't seem to cut back on their alcohol reduction. Then she shared the good news. She suggested that the problem wasn't as complex as some people had made it out to be. And that drinking was an emotional habit that can be unlearned. I'll never forget the next thing she said. Drinking wasn't actually the problem. It was the thinking before the drinking that made me lose control. It was my AHA moment. A huge wave of excitement came over me. I hurried to record the segment so I could play it back. Which I did. I played it over and over again, as my heart was racing, trying to watch it again before my husband walked into the room. I wrote her name down. Georgia Foster. All I kept thinking was that maybe this woman could help me. That day at work, I couldn't wait for my meetings to end, so I could have a good long read about Georgia's approach on my computer. I read every inch of her website and devoured all of her TV interviews, and the testimonials were amazingly positive. There was hope for me now, and I couldn't wait to start the program. That was the start of a whole new life for me. I finally found somebody who truly understood me. As a concerned drinker, who felt lost and alone and felt there was nowhere to turn to, until that moment. She was the first person I'd ever met that understood when I said I didn't want to quit drinking. And because of her program, I could drink like a normal person again. Now that you've heard the typical drink less story, do you see how quickly and drastically you and your drinking can change? And the best part? You don't have to give up drinking altogether. I have dozens of testimonials from men and women who have been so happy with their results that they are happy to share how powerful and fast the results of this program are. These are not just made-up testimonials. These are real people just like you. If you know you need to cut back and still want to enjoy a drink or two now and again, this is the perfect solution for you. It was the one thing that helped Kylie save her 20-year marriage, earn back her kids' trust, and feel good again. This program will help you change your life for the better. Yes. I want to drink less. See what people are saying about the program. With a program to stick to, it's not as hard as I imagined. I have just had 5 small glasses of wine in the past 10 days, a huge improvement. I feel stronger and more accepting of my own current situation, so there was less of an internal struggle and less of a void to fill with drink. Alcohol is becoming a treat, not a habit. My skin was clearer and I slept better. By the end of the week, my usual total of 40 units is down to a more modest, for me, 21. Thanks to hypnotherapy. And the brilliant thing? I haven't had to give up drinking completely. I don't know if it's because I have more energy and I am more active, but I've lost 7 pounds. People keep saying how well I look. Yesterday, someone asked me if I'd had a facelift. I thought I needed alcohol to relax, to make life more interesting, to make me more interesting. It's just not true. I'm an alcohol reduction expert, and I've been helping people discover how to drink less with a simple, yet highly effective, results-based program. My special program has been featured in the Sunday Times, the Daily Mail, Psychology's Magazine and Good Housekeeping, as well as being regularly featured on Sky News and The Morning Show, just to name a few. Listen, maybe you have been told that you need to drink less by your husband or sister or, even worse, one of your children. How stressful is that when someone you love tells you that you need to drink less? Do you find that outside criticism about your drinking triggers any of the following behaviors? Sneaky drinking, quick drinking because you feel anxious, feel there is something wrong with you which makes you drink more? Become an all-or-nothing drinker so you can prove to them and yourself that you don't always drink if you check any of these boxes. It's time to move on and learn to drink less now. And the good news is, you don't have to tell anyone. Unlike AA or abstaining, you will naturally be drinking less, while feeling calmer and more confident around the people who used to monitor or judge you about your drinking. She has hypnotized billionaires, politicians, actors and high-profile musicians, though she's far too discreet to name names. In the day following I leave 2 boozy dinner parties sober, having had less than a couple of glasses of wine without giving it much thought. I feel stronger, partly due to a new awareness of my personal triggers. Let's be honest, nobody wants to live in a non-alcohol world. But it's about you managing your alcohol, as opposed to letting it manage you. It's about not using drink as escapism from day-to-day problems. Yes. I want to drink less. This program works for anyone. Whether you're male or female, younger or older, and no matter what your drinking history is like. Today is the day. You have the power to change your life. Endless hours and new age approach not required. In just 25 minutes you'll be on your way to drinking less. Simply put, if you have a history of drinking too much, you can put those days behind you. 7 Days to Drink Less is a program like no other you will have come across before. 7 Days to Drink Less is backed up by the neuroscientists of this world. My unique approach uses a combination of very specific hypnotic techniques along with a powerful psychology that will shift your thinking away from unhelpful drinking, and into a state of trust about your ability to drink in a slower and calmer way. This is a one-of-a-kind approach. Developing this program, and helping people control their drinking has been my life's work. The reality is, even if you had the time to read every book on neuroscience, brain training, and you traveled the world to learn with the best Jungian psychologists on the planet, you might be able to get similar results, maybe. You could also look all over the internet to find out what works and doesn't work, and you might find solutions out there that work, but I never did. Let me tell you what you're going to get. The full online 7 Days to Drink Less program includes 7 proven step-by-step talks that show you how to drink less, 5 powerful life-changing hypnosis audio downloads, the Drink Less Mind ebook that comes with 3 additional audio downloads, anxiety reduction training with a bonus audio download, 3 add-on programs selected from my Drink Less Mind aftercare program. Absolutely fantastic. These recordings are absolutely fantastic. I have been concerned about my drinking habits for a number of years and have read and tried so many different things, but this program has been the only one that has real lasting change. It not only helped me understand my drinking habits, but also how to change them. It enabled me to change to drinking in a way that meant I could still enjoy 1 or 2 drinks now and again, but know how, when and why to stop. A true revelation. And I don't say that lightly. This program comes with my highest recommendation. It is easy to understand and I was able to apply it my life instantly. I often woke up annoyed with myself because wine was stopping me from doing simple things such as phoning friends. I found it so easy to sit at a computer or watch TV and would top up my glass almost unconsciously. Since completing the program in March, she has managed a couple of nights a week without alcohol, and when she does drink, a glass or 2 is enough. Zoe was drinking up to 90 units a week while working in the city. She tells Sadie Dodds how she became one of the first women in Britain to undergo therapy for binge drinking. George's theory was that I was drinking to escape the immense pressure I was putting myself under. I lost 2 stone. I started making healthier choices, simply because I gained respect for myself. My overall mood is so vastly improved that I am actually shocked by the change. My problems are still there, but I seem to be dwelling on them less and they don't seem so overwhelming. I feel far more positive and I don't feel I want to drink wine to escape from anything, including myself. Yes. I want to drink less. Why does it work for all these people, including you? Take a peek at what you will discover below: powerful neuroplasticity techniques that change your emotional relationship with alcohol, my unique psychology training called Inner Dialogue. It's private and can be used in the quiet of your home. No expensive therapy sessions, no explaining to other people you are seeing a therapist about your alcohol issues. In 7 days, you will be calmer, happier, and more confident. There's a good chance your friends and family won't recognize you. Why doesn't this cost more? I would feel stupid charging you more because you've probably spent more time and money than you have wanted to in the hope of that elusive solution to drinking less. On top of that, I truly believe in this program, and I want to help as many people as I possibly can, so I'm making the price accessible to anyone. Oh, did I mention this? What you will learn and will experience would be the equivalent of more than $2,500 worth of private therapy with me. You see, I am not cheap, but then that is why billionaires, musicians, directors, doctors and lawyers have knocked on my clinic door and achieved great results, but the fact is there is no need to have this price tag. Now, remember what I said. It doesn't matter what your history of drinking is nor how much therapy you have had or think you need. Transform your life by learning to drink less alcohol now. Here's my 100% ironclad triple guarantee: if you don't like my approach for any reason, you can have your money back within 60 days. If you don't like my hybrid Australian-British accent, I guarantee your money back. If for any reason you feel that it isn't working for you, no questions asked, you can get your money back. Experience tells me this. That you are tired of thinking about your heavy drinking and you want to get off the drinking too much treadmill. I warn you, don't try reducing your drinking alone. I know thousands of clients who have attempted to drink less before they met me, without success. It's not that they were stupid or a hopeless case, but rather that they didn't know what they know now. Maybe you're not ready to get on with your life and enjoy drinking alcohol without the guilt? Maybe it's just not the right time to deal with it just yet. I understand this, but I can't guarantee this price will stay the way it is for much longer. There's a better life waiting for you. Imagine seeing your life after 7 days to drink less with results like these: enjoying drinking slowly and really tasting what you drink rather than gulping it down, improved stress management tools without a glass of alcohol in your hand, better quality sleep while drinking less, having sober sex and enjoying it, losing weight without thinking about it just by simply drinking less alcohol, healthier, sober communication, so you don't need to drink to have certain conversations, improved clarity and better sober problem solving, naturally drinking less than the people around you, the relief to know you don't need to hide your drinking from others or lie about it, being around the alcohol police and no longer being judged by them anymore. Those cravings practically vanished. It's such a relief. This program is quite a strange experience to start with, but then I've never done something like this before. Just relax and don't question it. At first I was disappointed because I thought it wasn't working. Then suddenly, this odd thing happened. I haven't wanted to have a drink at all. It's not like the idea turns me off, but before I would think about a big glass of wine, and it would only be a matter of time before I had got my hands on one, then two, then three. Those cravings practically vanished. It's such a relief. I will definitely want to have wine in my future, but it's nice to think that I call the shots from now on, instead of the other way round. Try it, and stick at it, you'll be amazed. Yes. I want to drink less. So what do you do next? My goal is to make it easy for you to drink less without the need for willpower. Can you imagine the day when you remain in total control of your alcohol? Can you imagine how that will feel? Buy now so you avoid any further embarrassing memory loss or anxieties and fears that you have about your alcohol concerns. It's time for you to manage your alcohol consumption rather than it manage you. I've spent 22 years dedicating my professional life helping people shift their thinking about their drinking. It's my passion and I am here to help you. I guarantee you this price won't last at $149.97 with all these bonuses, so click here now. Yes. I want to drink less.